Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo video for the staff training and accreditation monitor. What this is, it's a it's very simple spreadsheet. It's very much the same as a lot of the reminders and follow-ups of when last did you do this, have you done it, it's due again, those kind of things. The only difference to this is because you've got different staff going potentially on different training and accreditation items, and you've got those particular items that might be relevant to some of the staff, not others, and vice versa. Instead of what we've basically done here is put in two lists, the grey list, I call them on the grey tab. Number one, the staff. Let's just go back to intro and setup. There's actually nothing to enter on this intro and setup tab, so you don't have to worry about that. Staff members, you can put the staff members' names. Don't put in any duplicates. You can put in their starting date or when they started if you want to. That's not really imperative. It's just for your records. And the position. You can put in the position that they have. So this is really just your staff database. You've also got your training and accreditations item database where you can put the name of the module or course or certificate or whatever it is that they need to get here. How often do you need to renew it? Put it in months. So if it's 1 year, put 12 months, 2 years, 24 months, that kind of thing. Put it down in months. How many days warning do you want? That really just shows up on the next renewals. I'll show you that in a minute. And costs involved. And that's obviously what things cost and importance. So you can put some of them as high, some medium, some low. I know some of these things are far more, if you don't have them, the consequences are much larger. Whatever the case might be, you can rank those importance. It shows you how many times you've allocated each of these accreditations. So these lists here, you just you keep going all the time. You just update these as you go along. Staff member leaves, you remove them with the list. If a new training or accreditation comes on or gets taken off the list, just simply highlight the one you want, clear contents, and then just resort in alphabetical order. Simple as that. So yeah, you keep these two lists up to date. And this is the list now where you assign things. So what you do now is you'd come here, you'd select the staff member from the drop-down list. That's coming from your staff list. You'd select the accreditation or training, which is coming from the other grey list. Put in the initial date. Now the initial date, let's just add someone on here so I can show you, because this may just confuse you. If you put staff 1 and you put accreditation 2, we would say the 1st of January. This one will then show the next one as being the 1st of January being the first date. But you go, but hang on, we did in the 1st of January. Surely that should come later on. But no, when you do the last renewal, put the last renewal date in as well. The reason why I've done it like this, normally I'll take the next date from the initial date if there's no last renewal date. But in this case, you might want to put a staff member with training accreditation with an upcoming event. So the initial date might be when it's coming up in the future. So I didn't want this to then show the next one. I wanted to show the one you put in So if the first one is in fact the actual where you've got the certificate and you want it then to go for the next 3 months, just put the same date in again there and it'll drop over to the next one. So that's how you add someone. If the first date is a warning for a future thing, the initial one, then put the date in there. If that is actually when they've got their first certificate, then just put the last renewal in as the same date, and it will show on here. This arranged, all that does is if you've organized it, because what's going to happen is this is now going to create a list of next renewals. So if you come on and you go, actually, I've already arranged this. Say you've told the staff knows about it, they're going to go and do it on their own accord, whatever, and you want to just take it off of your reminders. If you click the arrange column, then you can see here it says arrange, because now what you can do is you can actually come here and say, no, don't show arranged items, and it'll drop it off the list. So that's just why it's just really to mark it as arranged. Obviously, once they've done that one and you come in again for the next one, you then just need to remove that. Just remember to remove that so that they can, it knows to continue to warn you about that if you've deselected arranged items here. But essentially what this does is it checks when everything else is due. These will change color. Yellow when you get to your warning based on the number of days. It'll also change to orange when it's that day, or in fact to red if it's overdue. But then what you can do is you can actually come here and you can see your renewal dates on this one here, which is your next renewals coming up. So these ones will always be in order of renewals. This one will always sort it in order of renewals. But you can come here and you can say, actually, take out items ranked low, then it will remove it, and maybe take out items ranked medium. So you can basically filter your list by showing just the ones that you want to show here. If you've got an extremely long list of accreditations and staff and you can't really see everything that's going on, you can actually filter it by using those. The other thing is if you end up going to the end of page 22 and you got more and if this page is full, this will say page 1 of 2. You can actually then come and change that to 2 and it'll show you the second page. So you can basically look down your next renewals in order of their renewal date. And lastly is report. This just gives you a report over the next coming months. This is the current month that we're in at the moment. You can see all the upcoming months and when you've got how many accreditations and whatever and renewals you've got per month based on the priority color. And if you scroll down, you can actually see the value of those renewals per month based on their priority color. So you can see what's coming up costly, and this is your next 12 months where you've got renewals coming up and what their costs are. So those are just the tables really that fuel these graphs, and it says no overdue renewals over there. So that's just a report. Here you've got your list based in order of urgency as far as dates are concerned. This is where you enter in who the staff is, and so when you get here and you see, okay, I've got one due today, and you update it, then you just come here and change the last renewal. So if I change this last renewal to 1st of April, then it goes on to July, which is 3 months later for the next renewal. So it automatically updates. And I think that's it. Just keep these 2 gray tabs up to date and you're on to win it. So yeah, if that helps you and your business, then I wish you all the best with that. Thank you. Goodbye.